If you're watching this video, I know that you've seen probably all these YouTube comments, these Reddit comments, these Facebook comments that all say that Upwork is really shit. It's a bad place to get clients as a freelancer. It's a place that some people even say that it doesn't work. And the reality is, Upwork is not a scam. It's something that can work. Let's be honest with ourselves about that. But the reality is that there's a reason why so many people complain about Upwork. There's a reason why so many people tell you it's a bad place to go do freelancing. And some people even say that it doesn't work. And the reason for that is that for most people, it's going to be really, really tough to get started on Upwork. It's not that it doesn't work, but most people do it unsuccessfully. And even those who do it correctly and do it in a way that they build good profiles and in a way that gives them a lot of chances to get contracts, the reality is that even for those people, there would be better options out there, easier options to get contracts that pay more money and to get contracts easier. So in this video, I'm going to share with you why, even if you do Upwork correctly, even if you build good profiles, even if you do it really well, why it's actually not the good place to start freelancing. And I'm going to share with you other options, other methods you can use to get much better results fast. So here's something that's really going to surprise you, okay? When I started freelancing, I actually didn't get my first clients on Upwork like most people try to do. I started like a lot of freelancers with cold email, just approaching businesses, and it actually worked rather well. After 3 months, we were already able to charge $85 an hour to our clients for our services. And we actually had so many clients and projects going on that we couldn't even finish everything on time. We had a lot of clients who were complaining that we weren't fast enough. Like, we had a lot of projects, we had a lot of clients. It was going incredibly well. And at one point, we got a month where we had a lot less clients than we used to. So I thought, hey, maybe I could just go check on Upwork. Maybe I could just try to find clients there, see what happens. So at this point, I created my profile on Upwork. I had a lot of projects that I've already built because of my previous clients, so I put them on there. I put my best picture on it. I put a lot of effort on this, making sure that my profile was actually pretty good. So I built the best profile I could, and I started applying to jobs. And surprisingly, although I was able to get a lot of clients easily using email and charge $85 an hour, I could not get a single fucking job on Upwork. So at that point, I was like, hey, I'm just charging like $30 an hour. It's not a lot. It's a lot less than I'm charging to my clients. So I brought my price down to $20 an hour just to see what happened. So at that point, I just sent more proposals. And surprisingly, again, although I was able to get my clients to pay $85 an hour outside of Upwork, I couldn't get a single job even at $20 an hour. So I was like, what the fuck? So I just thought, hey, maybe Upwork doesn't work. I'm just gonna give up. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm already doing. I'm having success with email. I'm having success with these other things. So I started doing that again. And at one point, I realized why it had been so difficult for me to find clients on Upwork. So here's how I realized the reason why it's so hard to get started on Upwork, okay? At one point, we were working on a project that was a little too hard for me and my partner. So what we did is that we said, hey, let's hire someone to help us. And we thought, hey, maybe we could find someone in our local area, or maybe we could just try Upwork and see what happens. So we created a business account on Upwork, and we put 2 job proposals, one for a web designer and one for a web developer to help us. And so we just set the job offers there, and we just closed our computers, thought, hey, we'll come back in 2-3 days and see what happens, see if we can find someone who looks actually pretty good. And here's what happened. 48 hours later or something like that, we opened back our computer, opened Upwork, and looked at our fucking profile. We had 92 fucking messages. In 48 hours, 92 fucking messages. You have no idea how much competition there is for these types of jobs on Upwork. And it wasn't like a complicated job. It was just like a piece of technology that I wasn't really comfortable with. Like, it was all entry-level jobs that we needed people for. And we ended up with so many proposals that we couldn't answer everyone. Like, we have a business to run. We have things to do. We have videos to make. We have people to call. And, I can't spend my whole days on Upwork messaging people, making sure that, seeing with each freelancer what are their skills and if they fit with us. I cannot do that. Okay, I don't have time for that. So what we did is that we just found the few that looked like they were the best, and we just found the few that charged the least amount of money, and we just talked with them and to see which one looked like they could be a good fit with us. And you know what happens when there's so many people competing? Prices go down. Listen, we hired a guy at one point for $7 an hour. Like, you might be thinking, hey, yeah, maybe I could work for $7 an hour. That's minimum salary in the US. But think about it. We are freelancers. We need to take into account the fact that when we're getting jobs, when we're charging money, we need to account for the fact that we're not getting paid while we are trying to find clients. We are spending a lot of hours to acquire customers that we're never getting paid. If you only charge money for the hours that you work and not the hours that you find clients, guess what? Like, maybe you're going to spend 8 hours, 10 hours in your week that are never going to get paid. So it's not like you're getting paid $7 an hour. It's like you're getting paid $4, $5 an hour, and it's actually becomes less than minimum salary. And like, the problem is there's some people in some poor countries that can't afford to work at these prices, and oftentimes they're happy to get these jobs. So you're competing with people who have more experience, who have been on Upwork for longer, who have better profiles than you, and you're competing with people who can afford to work for a lot less than you. It is very difficult to stand out and get jobs with that amount of competition. And even if you do get jobs, are you going to be able to charge $85 an hour when there's someone in India who's offering to do the same job as you are for $7 an hour? If you're the business owner, what would you do? I mean, I'd definitely not hired a guy at $85 an hour. I'd probably tried a guy who's charging like $7 an hour. And the thing is, Upwork, it's not a risk. If the guy doesn't do his job well, I don't pay him. That's how Upwork works. There's no risk with hiring people on Upwork. Like, it's not like, hey, but if you hire like these Indians that don't do a good job, you're gonna be fucked. No, I just don't pay them. So unless they don't do their job well, there's no reason to contact you, the guy who's charging $85 an hour. No reason. But the thing you need to understand is that most businesses are not on Upwork. Most businesses who need websites, most businesses who need web design, they're not on Upwork. So most Upwork freelancers are not going to be competing on these jobs. If you use any other method that is not a freelance site, if any method where you approach customers or you create funnels that get people to stumble on your website, on your sales pages, and to get people to call you, if you use these methods, you will get a better closing rate. You will be able to charge a lot more because these people who stumble onto you in these methods do not get 92 messages in 48 hours from people who are offering to do the same job we are offering for $7 an hour. And you know what else that's really interesting about Upwork is that we posted another job offer a little later and we had complete opposite results. Like, we offered a job for someone who's really advanced, and you know what happened? We got like 4 proposals or 4 or 5, and all the guys were charging a lot of fucking money. And like, what do you think happens if we get like 4 or 5 proposals? You check everyone has a good chance of getting the job, and since there's not a lot of competition, they can all charge a lot of money, get paid well, and like get a lot of money on Upwork. And here's the thing, on Upwork, there's an insane amount of competition for beginner level jobs because all starting freelancers want to start on Upwork. Everyone's not comfortable with the idea of emailing people, calling people, creating funnels. They feel like Upwork is the best place. We feel like Upwork is the best place to get started as freelancers. It's something that looks a lot like what you've done before. We've all created resumes, which feel like creating a profile. We've all sent our resumes to jobs. We've all seen the job websites such as Indeed, these things, and just offered our services. It feels very similar to what you've done before. But the thing is, everyone in the world feels the same way. No one has ever been in school and learned how to do email. No one's ever learned how to do these things. So everyone feels like Upwork is the right place to start. So everyone starts on Upwork. There's a shit ton of competition there. And if you only gave yourself a chance to learn any other method, you would have so much less competition and such an easier time finding clients, especially as a beginner. Because like, think about it, like methods like email, they don't see your portfolio. They don't see anything. You don't need to have a big, amazing profile picture. You don't need to build an amazing profile. You don't need to build a portfolio. They never see that. I think I've had one client who's ever asked for my portfolio. Like, you're starting at a much easier place. And you know what? A lot of jobs on Upwork are actually just people taking advantage of you, okay? What they do is that they just use all the other methods that I'm about to share with you, such as, let's say, email, and they email businesses like you could do, and the businesses say yes, they hire these guys who send the emails, and these agencies, they just go on Upwork and say, hey, we need someone to build a website for this business, and they say, hey, who's willing to do this for the cheaper? Who's willing to help us with that? And they sell this contract for $500, when in reality, the business that hired them to do the website actually paid them something like $2,000. They're selling you this contract for $500, and they're making a $1,500 in profit. And in reality, all that you've done there, and in reality there, by going on Upwork, you just got the same job that you would have had if you were the guy who sent the email to this business to begin with. It's just that you ended up getting paid a lot less. Like, what I'm trying to say here is that a lot of people understand that there's a lot of freelancers who are really insistent on getting their contracts on Upwork, and they're taking advantage of you because they know there's not a lot of competition on other methods such as email, cold calls, and there's a lot of businesses out there that need websites and aren't on Upwork, and these people are serving as middlemen. They're just taking the biggest chunk of the profit that you could be making by selling you these contracts for a lot cheaper than they're actually worth. And as freelancers, maybe you're like me. I quit my job and I started freelancing because I was tired of getting taken advantage of. And I thought that I deserved better pay. I thought I deserved better working conditions. And let's be honest with ourselves. Do you really deserve to be the guy who gets paid a quarter of what the website is really worth? Or do you deserve to be the guy who actually gets paid what you deserve and actually works with the businesses directly instead of like weird agencies who are just taking advantage of you? Like we're here to get a better quality of life. And sometimes, yes, there's things that we have to do that aren't comfortable. Sometimes we need to learn new things such as email, such as cold calls. And actually, there's a lot of other methods. There's a ton of them, and you can choose whichever one you prefer. But if you insist on like doing Upwork, this is who you're gonna be. The guy who doesn't get paid what you deserve. And at that point, is it really better than getting a regular job where you're getting paid shit and where you have a shitty boss that just you fucking hate? Well, instead, you're just gonna get paid shit and have a lot of clients that you fucking hate. For me, that's not what freelancing is about. For me, that's not how I want to freelance. And I do believe you deserve better, and I know you can get it. So with that said, which methods can you use to get better results as a freelancer? Okay, all the methods that you could use fall into two categories: attraction and pursuit. Okay? Attraction strategies are more long-term strategies. And attraction strategies are like creating a website, a funnel, and then getting good SEO, getting good traffic so that people stumble on your website by themselves and start paying you money. You could create content on YouTube, you could create blogs, you could create a lot of things that get people on your website without you having to do any work to get them on your website. And then your copy on your website, the text on your website, what you're offering on your website. Some people are going to be interested in getting a website or whatever different web development service you're offering, and they are going to call you without you having to do any other work in the future. Like, this is long term. Right now, if you start making a website, it's going to take a long time before you get good SEO. It's going to take a long time before you get a lot of traffic. So if you do this now, you will not get a lot of clients tomorrow. You will not get a lot of clients in the next 3 months. But after that, maybe in 6 months to a year, it could start being interested in being a good source of getting clients. There's blog, YouTube. And over the long term, this is exactly what you want to be doing. All of these types of strategies, you want to find something that will allow you to get clients without having to work too much. Because the problem is that these strategies take a long time to set up, but once they're set up, you don't need to spend a lot of time on them to get more clients. Pursuit strategies are things like email, calling businesses, Facebook ads, LinkedIn messages, Facebook messages, messages on whatever platform you're using whenever you're contacting someone directly. That's the kind of strategy it is. Or you can just go meet them in person. If you're in the same local area as them, that's something you can do. These strategies, okay, choose whichever one feels most comfortable with you. Whichever one of these you decide to use, the good news is that you will be able to get clients in the short term. The problem is you will have to keep creating more emails, creating more calls, creating more ads, creating more LinkedIn messages. You need to keep contacting people over time to keep getting results. If you stop sending emails, you stop getting clients. If you stop calling people, you stop getting clients. Yes, at one point you will start getting referrals, but it's going to take a long time before these referrals are going to be by themselves enough to supply your business. So you will need to keep doing them. But in the short term, these are all methods that could get you clients this month. And if you want to leave your job as fast as possible, choose whichever one of these you feel more comfortable with, learn it, apply it until you get good results. And over time, you can start building on attraction strategies. And this is going to allow you to, over time, be able to stop needing to rely on all these methods of pursuit and only rely on your methods of attraction. And over time you will get so many clients coming to you from referrals and from your attraction strategies that you will not have to do any pursuit anymore to get all the clients that you need. And listen, my goal in the next couple of weeks is to share with you everything you need to do to get successful as a freelancer. I want to share with you all the fundamentals, but I can't teach you all of these methods. Okay, the truth is it would take a lot more. It would take way too much time to get you good in all of these methods so you can have success. So what I want you to do is tell me in the comments, which one of these methods do you feel are most interesting? Which one of these methods do you want me to teach you in the next couple of weeks? And after you've told me that, subscribe, because I'm going to be making content on these things very soon. And if you want to know how to do it and be successful, subscribe, watch the videos that are coming. And with that said, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care.